In 2004, police raid a shrine hidden deep in a forest in Anambra State. Inside, they find human skulls, decomposed bodies, notebooks filled with names and photographs of some of the most powerful men in Nigeria. Politicians, businessmen, even religious leaders. If you've never heard about the Okija shrine and the secrets that came out of that forest, this is that story. The names I'm about to use are not real, but the story they tell is. What happened to this man has happened to dozens, maybe hundreds of people who walked into that forest and other ones like it. So, this is Uche. Uche is 35 when the story begins. He's ambitious, driven, and just like a lot of people, he wants to build something for himself. He's been working in Lagos for years, moving from one small job to another, until finally he lands on an idea that could change everything. He wants to launch a transport company, and all he needs is capital. And if you've ever tried to start a business in Nigeria, then you know what the problem is. Banks won't look at you without collateral. Family members tell you that they don't have that kind of money, and the government grants everyone talks about, well, good luck finding one that actually exists. So when an opportunity comes through a friend of a friend, Uche pays attention. He's introduced to a man we'll call Chief Maduka. Now, Chief is not your average man. He's rich, loud and powerful. He's got houses, hotels, supermarkets in different parts of the country, and he drives cars with number plates that say Odogo 1. Now, if you're Nigerian, you already know exactly what kind of man this is. He's the type who walks into a room and everyone stands up. He doesn't ask for favors, he grants them. When Uche meets him, he listens with rapt attention to his business speech, nods slowly and says, I like your spirit, I'll give you the money. Uche's heart almost bursts from joy. They talk numbers, profit sharing, and timelines. Everything sounds perfect. Until Chief leans back and says, but before anything moves, you'll have to swear an oath. For a moment, Uche laughs. He thinks it's a joke. But Chief isn't smiling. It's nothing harmful, Chief explains. Just assurance. So you won't run away with my money. Uche hesitates. He's never done anything like this before. But Chief talks calmly. My boy, it's nothing serious, just insurance. And Uche, desperate to finally change his life, agrees. He has no idea that this trip will change his life forever. On the agreed day, they leave Lagos early. Chief has an uncanny fear of lights, so they drive for hours, cutting through state after state, until they arrive at Okija, a quiet town in Anambra State. They park by the roadside and begin walking down a narrow winding bush path. Chief tells him, turn off your phones. Don't speak to anyone. Just follow me. They step into the thick and wet forest, the kind of grove that swallows light. The air smells of rain and palm wine. As they go deeper, Uche starts to hear faint sounds, drums, whispers, maybe even some incantations. They pass wooden cabins, small huts, and black pots filled with unknown liquids. And with every step, the city feels further away. In the distance, a shrine looms under a giant tree. That's Ogugu, one of the two powerful shrines of Okija, feared across the entire southeast. Now, whether you believe in these things or not, and I know some of you watching are already saying it's just wood and chalk, well, the people who go to Ogugu believe completely, and some people say that that belief is what gives the shrine its power. It's said that anyone who lies before Ogugu dies within days. It's also said that if you betray a promise made here, the gods themselves will come for you. Anyways, back to the story. A priest steps out, bare-chested, his body smeared with white chalk. He speaks Igbo slowly, rhythmically, as though he's talking to something the rest of them can't see. Chief greets him with respect, bows reverently, and explains the purpose of their visit. The priest nods and tells Uche to kneel. He's handed a clay bowl filled with a liquid mixture. Inside it floats a white feather and a small piece of kola nut. Say your name, the priest commands. Swear that you will keep your word. Swear that you will not cheat the man who brought you here. Uche pledges his allegiance and makes his promises. The entire time, his voice trembles. Finally, he drinks from the bowl. Then the priest marks his forehead with chalk and ties a black thread around his wrist. If you keep your word, nothing will happen to you, the priest says. But if you break it, the gods will find you wherever you run to. And just like that, the deal is sealed. Days later, the money lands. Uche starts his business. Everything looks fine, but success comes with temptation. A few months down the line, he begins to miss payments. He stops answering Chief's calls. He convinces himself that maybe, just maybe, nothing will really happen. I mean, how can a piece of wood in the village really harm me in the city, he asks. Well, one morning, Uche wakes up sweating. He's had a dream. Chief was standing in the forest, calling his name. Behind him, that same priest from Okija was staring menacingly. Uche brushes it off as just a dream, until the headaches start. Sharp, persistent, and blinding. Doctors can't find anything wrong. Within weeks, he begins to lose weight. Now, whether you believe in the supernatural or not, and I'm not here to tell you what to believe, what happens next is what dozens of families across the Southeast describe in almost identical terms. The person who breaks the oath gets sick. Doctors find nothing. The decline is rapid, and by the time someone suggests going back to the shrine to beg for reversal, it's too late. Uche's family rushes him to a few prayer houses, but by then, he can barely speak. 3 days later, he's gone. Well, like I said at the start, the names I used here are not real, but the pattern is. In August 2004, acting on intelligence, police raid the Okija shrine, and during the raid, it is established that this is the shrine where political godfathers bring their godsons for insurance oaths, where businessmen seal deals, where some shady clergy go to collect power to work miracles so that they can in turn become wealthy, and where young men flock to in droves for rituals that would make them rich. The images are shocking. Human skulls, dozens of decomposed bodies in various stages of decay, some wrapped in cloth, some in shallow graves, some simply left in the open. But here's the thing, it's not just the body that shocked investigators the most, it's the paperwork. They find notebooks filled with names, dates, and details of oaths sworn. They find photographs of men you might recognize from the news, all captured at the shrine. Powerful people from Lagos to Abuja suddenly go quiet because everyone knows someone who has been there. The shrine wasn't just for the desperate. It was for the connected, the rich, and the so-called untouchables of the society. The raid sparks a national conversation that goes beyond Okija itself, because the truth is, Okija wasn't unique, it was just the one that got exposed. And that's the part no one wants to admit. Across the South, across the country, similar arrangements exist. Places where handshakes are not enough. Places where contracts must be sealed in blood. In the aftermath, officials condemned it. Religious leaders denounced it, but behind closed doors, the question everyone kept asking was not, how could this happen? It was, who else has been there? Well, that was the story. If you enjoyed it and would want to see more like it, then please like, share, and subscribe for more.